everybody? It's your boy Mac Mall back with another reaction. Make sure y'all smash the sub. And remember, it don't cost you nothing to push a button.
We also have some more breaking news as well. I want to put this up on folks' screen. If you watch reality TV at all, you've probably heard of their names. Of course, we're talking about Todd, Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best, as well as his wife. It's official. President Trump has pardoned them, Todd and Julie Chrisley. He did it today in this conversation, a phone call that he had there with their daughter, Savannah, who's been very outspoken over the last few years about her parents' conviction. And now it's official. President Trump deciding to pardon Todd and Julie Chrisley. Michael, this is a very interesting thing that this is a move he decided to make. But again, what else do we know about the Chrisleys? How long they were going to be in jail? It was certainly interesting when they first got sentenced. I remember that.
Yeah, they were indicted in 2019, and obviously, President Trump was in the middle towards the end of his first term, but was still president at that point. And then in 2022, they're ultimately convicted on tax evasion, fraud, bank fraud charges. And Todd is sentenced to 12 years in prison. And Julie, his wife, gets sentenced to 7 years. So they go in, obviously, in 2022. They were not anywhere near the ends of this sentence, especially not Todd. So for him today to officially get word that President Trump was going to pardon them and that they will now walk free and have these charges and the conviction behind them, obviously a massive, massive win for them. They have long felt like this prosecution, which was in Georgia, was political. You talked about their daughter, about Savannah, and how she spoke out. She said it at the RNC when she spoke. And she, again, really believed that they had been targeted over political reasons and that this was not a just verdict nor a sentence. And, I don't know if that's true or not. I think the people who worked on the case would say, no, that's not the case. You committed a crime and that's why you were sentenced to what you were sentenced to. But I suppose it doesn't matter right now because it was a federal conviction and Donald Trump is president and he says you're pardoned, and again, they are about to walk free.
It'll be interesting, and we'll hope that some of those cameras there with TMZ will be there as well once they're releasing and getting out of prison. If you guys are able to bring us any of that footage, we'll certainly take it. Again, with TMZ, Michael Babcock, we appreciate your time as always.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
All right. Wanted to certainly bring that to y'all here on Live Now from Fox. In the meantime, though, if you aren't familiar with Todd and Julie Chrisley, I want to put this back up on your screen as well. This is the official tweet that went out from the Associated Press. They're citing the Associated Press, saying that President Trump was set to pardon reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley, who were convicted on fraud and tax evasion charges. So if you had watched their TV series, Chrisley Knows Best, they gained fame for showcasing their lavish lifestyle and tight-knit family dynamics. The show, though, debuted back in 2014. And it built a very loyal following as well. But of course, that public image took a major turn when they were indicted back in 2019 on multiple federal charges, including tax evasion, wire fraud, and conspiracy. In 2022, though, both were convicted of orchestrating a multi-million-dollar bank fraud scheme and for submitting false documents to secure loans and avoid paying taxes. And as we just heard Michael mention there, Todd was sentenced to 12 years in prison. Julie was sentenced to 7, although we know both of those were later reduced. But now it's official. President Trump has decided to pardon them. And again, we want to listen into that message that President Trump put out and his team put out on their social media accounts. We were listening to what he has to say in that phone call with the Chrisley's daughter, Savannah. Let's listen in.
That's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, but it's a great thing because your parents are going to be free and clean, and I hope we can do it by tomorrow. Is that okay? We'll try getting it done tomorrow. So
wonderful.
Give them, I don't know them, but give them my regards and wish them a good life.
Mr. President.
Yes. How are you?
I just want to say thank you for bringing my parents back.
Yeah, well, they were given a pretty harsh treatment based on what I'm hearing. Pretty harsh treatment.
Yes, sir.
Was your brother fighting also for this release, right?
Hey, I go to the University of Alabama, and I saw you speak, and I said, that's the greatest presidential speech I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, that's good. I was just there. I gave the commencement. What a great group of people. If you were in the audience, you have to be good. What a good school it was, and I love Alabama. You know, I love Alabama. It's that school is really, that was very impressive when I was there. Yeah, I think I did a good job. I got a lot of good comments on that one, so that's good. I love doing that with great young people.
Kicked out of class.
Yeah, he got kicked out of class for defending you. It was pretty interesting.
Gee, I'm surprised because University of Alabama, if we took a vote, I'd get 90% of the vote, right?
Sure would.
Exactly.
Maybe more, actually. But anyway, well, you keep fighting. Congratulate your parents.
Congratulations, Savannah.
And Alice had a lot to do with this. And just congratulate your parents. And I hear they're terrific people. This should not have happened. So, and you
Thank
just
you so
take
much.
care. Boy, they have good children. You're no longer children, but I'll say it anyway. They have
All right, that was the message there from President Trump as he called to inform their daughter, Todd and Julie Chrisley's daughter, Savannah, that he had officially pardoned them. So if you weren't aware, if you didn't hear that portion, we were just talking with TMZ on this, Savannah Chrisley did address the 2024 Republican National Convention last year as well, where she described the Department of Justice as being, quote, broken. She read out her parents' numbers that they had while they have been labeled there in prison, saying these may just be numbers to you, but to me, they're my whole heart. These numbers are my parents' identification numbers in our federal prison system. And we do know that she was outspoken for several years about some of the inhumane treatment that she said happened to her parents while they were incarcerated. Again, Todd and Julie Chrisley were convicted back in 2022 for conspiring to defraud banks for over $30 million through fraudulent loans and committing tax evasion. But it's official.